Hi folks, how you doing? Nice to see you.
No
Yeah,
bad.
how are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. How have you been through the past few weeks?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we've just got the bad news though about us going into tier 4 on Friday, so that's kind of put everything in the crapper.
Yeah, absolutely. Not good news at all, but hopefully it'll just be a few weeks and then we'll come out the other side of it and then hopefully we'll start to turn the corner. So thanks very much for joining. What we'll do first of all is I'll just, for anyone who's watching that doesn't know us, seen you for the first time, if you could just introduce yourself. I'll introduce you. First of all, you guys are St Clements. So if you could introduce yourselves individually and what you do in the band.
Natalie.
Okay, so I'm Natalie. I'm the singer in the band. That's pretty much all I do. I don't like to carry any heavy equipment.
I'm Cammy, and I get to carry a lot of equipment and I just write songs and play a bit of guitar. And yeah.
Excellent. So what we'll do for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, we'll take it back to the start. If you could just tell us how you first got together, when it was, and where you all met.
Basically, we all met at Glasgow Kelvin College. We were all studying music together. We were all put into like bands and stuff like that at the start. But like me, Cammy, and Shannon, our bassist, kind of clicked as friends. So we decided to put together our own wee thing and recruited Danny, who's the other guitarist, and then our first drummer, Lorenzo. We've been through quite a few drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strange, and this will sound weird that I had a dream about you guys the other night. I actually had a dream.
That's good.
I had and I don't ask me. In fact, I know why it must have been, because Cammy, we'll get to it. I don't want to skip ahead, but you let us into you gave us the secret link. So I think, and I listened to that right before bed. So I think that's why you guys must have been in my head. But I had a dream that you guys had a drummer, and it was like a guy that was like 50 or something, and I don't know why. So you said like a 50-odd-year-old drummer in my dream. I think that I can't even remember where we were. It's just one of these things that like it didn't make sense. I assume it was at a gig or something like that, and you're like, "Oh, this is our new drummer," and it was this like, older guy, like as if he was in like a Motorhead tribute band or something. But strange stuff. Anyway, so that's how you got together. So, tell us a little bit about your journey so far. What sort of gigs have you played, and what your best experiences have been?
Do you want to take this one?
I take this one.
Yeah.
Right. So 3 years now, nearly a year out of action, pretty much, which is a pain. But started just playing loads of gigs. We had one song at our first gig, well, one of our own songs, which we still play to this day. And so obviously we've had more over that time, and played loads of gigs in Glasgow and stuff, as you'd imagine. You're outside of Glasgow, a few good ones, a few bad ones, And then, but it's only really been in the last sort of year and a half I'd say, start to take things a lot more seriously and just have a good bash at it instead of just playing gigs on the weekend.
Excellent stuff. What was that first song that you wrote together?
Making an Angel. It's probably about 3 years old, around about now, November, and it got released on our EP that we did a wee while ago now, and but we've got a new version of it, so we're holding on to that for a rainy day. But yeah,
good stuff. And that brings us on nicely to your latest single. It's out in just a few days now. Is it the 20th it comes out?
20th. So
tell us a little bit about that. It's Carwash Disco, for anyone who doesn't know already. By the time you've seen this, it may already be out. If not, it's the 20th of November. So tell us a little bit about the how you wrote that and the process behind it.
So it was inspired by me stupidly. I lost my passport on holiday, so I couldn't come home for a week. So I guess you can. Obviously, the words are in. But and then just a wee, I don't really want to go into what it's about, because if anyone has their own interpretation of it, then so be it. But it's just a sort of holiday blues kind of thing, It's nothing too mental crazy bad. It's pretty straightforward, but
Great stuff. Is it you that writes most of the songs, Cammy?
yeah, most of them, yeah.
So you're the songwriter. Natalie sings them.
Yeah.
And have you is this a song you've written recently, or is it a song you've been playing live for a while? Or?
I've been playing live for a while. We were in a really bad habit of writing songs and not going to record them, and just recording loads in bulk, which I think get out of. So Carwash Disco is actually a year and a few months old, probably. So it's nothing new to us, but fresh for everyone else.
I mean, when we went to record that, there was like some edits made to it.
Yeah.
Like we did it different, like, but remember we had like a kind of slow bit in it, but that got axed.
Yeah.
Didn't make the cut.
Yeah, so if anyone magically remembers it from before then fair play, because I forgot we changed it.
Yeah, I can really remember it from before, but it just popped into my head there.
Yeah, so anyone who's watching, I'm going to big you up a wee bit here. Carwash Disco, 20th of November, 2020 is coming out. Brighten up the bad news that we've had this week by going on and streaming Carwash Disco the minute it comes out. And you guys are, sorry to embarrass you here, but you are one of my favourite up and coming bands, and it sounds like, well, he's just saying that because he's got them on. But I've said that to you before, and I don't just say that to people when I don't think it. I can't remember how you were always, I'd never saw you live or anything, but I was aware of you just through, I would see you on a poster or something like that, and I think I'd follow the Instagram and I would see like a clip from a gig or something, and but I'd never, and then I think, I can't remember how many songs you had on Spotify at the time, but it wasn't as many as you had now. So always just, I've said this to people before, I kind of like, will just track these different bands, because obviously being a promoter, you want to know who's about, and then I'll maybe just reach out if we've got an opportunity. But yeah, so that's how obviously we started talking. Unfortunately, we've not been able to do a gig together yet, but we will one day, hopefully. Really looking forward to it, whether it's the socially distanced gig when we're finally able to do that, or it's something else. We'll get there one way or another. Anyone who comes, you'll be able to hear Carwash Disco, I'm sure,
Hopefully.
live. So yeah, so just moving beyond that, so once we're finally out this nightmare, I think most people have thought for a while 2020 is pretty much a write-off now. Obviously there was a little glimmer of hope around about September time, October time, that we might be able to do some socially distanced stuff, which obviously isn't ideal, doing a socially distanced gig with everyone sitting at tables, but still it's just good to get out.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the plan behind that was that my plan for doing it was A, to get bands out as soon as possible, and B, if we can show that we can be doing this safely, then why not? Obviously, we're not just going to let mosh pits start again and things like that, but if you can just kind of start to relax the restrictions from there, which is why I wanted to do it as soon as possible. But obviously the carpet got pulled from underneath my feet. And there's one thing, if you're trying to run a business, like I'll fight any battle I have to, but it's just battling the government is just not a good idea. So lots of people try to put stuff on illegally and things like that, but that might be great at the time. But if you're wanting to run a business and you want to stay in business, it's not the way to go. So try to do everything through the proper channels. So we got that. Got a couple of proposals with them at the moment for coming back. So we'll see. Hopefully you guys will be able to be involved. But anyway, just going off on a tangent there. So plans and ambitions for the future. Once we're finally out of this, what would you like to do? What are your targets for the next couple of years?
I mean, I would like to get a wee tour organised, because we've not done anything like that yet. So it'd be nice to play in places other than Glasgow. But we'll wait and see how long that takes before we can get that done. Hopefully by the summer we can get something organised.
Yeah, absolutely. So where would you think to go? Just in the UK or?
Yeah, just in the UK. It's just now.
Oh,
Australia 2021.
Yeah, that could be done. Obviously we can help you out with promoting a couple of the legs on that. Or if you want us to, that is. You don't have to, but more than happy to help. So where would be the venues? Or not necessarily the venues, but what cities would you like to hit?
anywhere.
Yeah, we're not picky.
You know, we've played to empty rooms before, and we've played to packed out rooms. We'd play anywhere, to be fair. But at this point, I'd play to an old lady in a garage. At this point, I just want to do something. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've got recorded music there, so it's not like we're going to be sitting twiddling our thumbs. You know, we'll still be busy with stuff. It's just
Yeah.
just want to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed we'll be out of this as early as possible. But yeah, for now it's virtual gigs and Facebook lives if we're even able to do that. Who knows at the moment? I never even got a clear answer on that. Because we're obviously doing this stuff with you guys and like various other bands, but then there was the big thing about well, you can't stream live on Facebook, but then loads of people seem to be doing it with no repercussions. But the terms do actually state, I looked it up, that you can't do it, but then they just think they just have that in there so that they can basically pull you whenever you like. So
Yeah.
I've not risked one since, but we'll maybe do another couple of those. So just thinking about targets going forward. So obviously the tour, that's a nice to do and it's a good experience. Are there any particular festivals or venues or anything like that you'd like to play one day?
Well, depends how big you want to take it. Because like, someone said you want to play Glastonbury, I'm not going to say no, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot of stepping stones before that.
Yeah.
So
Think as big as possible.
headline Glastonbury then.
I think it would be nice to even just play like Transmit or something like that, like a wee home sort of a festival. That would be.
What
That
about
good.
Have you ever played outdoors?
Yeah, we've played.
Oh yeah, once.
Yeah, with that wee like festival thing, but
Not play outdoors in the sun. That's what I want to do.
yeah.
All this
I
rain.
mean, maybe by the summertime, like that could be a possibility, even if it's outdoor gigs rather than indoor. That could
Yeah,
maybe.
absolutely. There's something I can't say on here actually, but that reminds me of something. Let's talk after the interview.
Woo! Go back.
It's the socially distanced slammer attempt number 99999. We finally got it on. And,
They did it on a really big scale and the whole outdoor thing for a while. It was Sam Fender in it. He played a big outdoor thing. It was socially distanced. So if they could do it on a big scale, I don't see why it can't be done.
yeah, it can work, and that's. I don't want to give too many things away because this again part of the reason I was so annoyed earlier when the virtual thing I was telling you about fell through because it was being in tier 4 now. But there's so many things that we were lining up and had spent weeks and spent money on, and that just weren't able to happen. And that was one of them, kind of doing a kind of larger scale outdoor gig, because the outdoor gigs, because of the costs involved, that you do need to really do the numbers. Otherwise, it's just a financial bloodbath. So there was some stuff we were looking into, and we were kind of moving forward with. And then England, they were a bit slightly ahead of us in allowing stuff like that back. So that's why you were seeing those gigs at Gosforth with, I think there was the Kaiser Chiefs, Sam Fender, Libertines as well, and a couple others. But yeah, we didn't get to that stage, unfortunately. But we'll get there eventually. Hopefully, we won't need to worry about social distancing and risk assessments by next summer, but we'll see. What I think we'll do now, we'll just go through a few quick fire questions just about your band, or just a bit, first of all just about yourselves, and then about your bandmates, if that's okay.
Right. Natalie, you go first.
Cool. So I've not actually thought about the individual questions, so these are literally coming off the top of my head, so apologies if they're terrible.
Okay.
So, what's your favourite food? Nice and easy.
Bread.
Bread.
Yeah, bread.
Just see you under the covers at night, scarring a whole biscuit.
No. It's the fact that it's not like, oh, I just want to eat bread all the time, but it's like bread goes with like everything.
So versatile, yeah.
Yeah, so like you can have a garlic bread, any type of bread, bread is good.
I've never had that answer before. What's your favourite band other than St Clements?
That's hard.
Right now, the Killers. Right now.
Oh.
But tomorrow I'll give you a different answer probably.
Yeah. I can't think. Why is my mind like completely blank?
What's your favourite type of music then? Let's not narrow it down to one. What's your favourite genre?
Well, it probably would be like indie rock, I suppose.
Interesting answer
there. What's your favourite drink?
Tennent's Lager.
Say that again, sorry?
Tennent's Lager.
Tennent's Lager. What about non-alcoholic? What would you go for?
Tea. Cup of tea.
Tea. What about yourself, Natalie?
Water. I'm so plain. Bread and water.
You're not in that. What's your favourite takeaway food? Let's try and get a more exciting. Let's try to stimulate a more interesting answer here.
A boona.
A boona?
Yeah. Love me a good boona.
Or a big slice of bread to dip in.
No bread with a boona, thanks.
And what about yourself, Cammy?
Pepe's peri peri.
Pepe's, I had a Pepe's the other week actually. It was decent. I had one for ages. They got a lot more expensive though. I remember it when it first started out. It was just one of these like unassuming kind of cheaper, like lower grade peri peri places, and then it started to get popular. Now I was looking at the prices. It's like it cost like just got something like I got like a wrap meal and then some extra wings on the side and a juice. And it was only my son that got stuff, and I think he just got like a kids meal. And it was like 20 odd quid. It's like I went to a restaurant for less. But anyways,
our guitarist Danny loves Pepe's. How much is it he spends there? Like, when he goes, like
how much he spends there.
he spends a lot of money every time he goes, and he'll sit there for hours just eating the food. So weird.
No, that's quite good Pepe's, but I was kind of surprised by the prices because I don't think I'd been for a couple of years, and I was taken aback, I have to say. Where's your favourite place to go if you were just like in town in Glasgow or whatever, and you're going for something to eat and a few drinks after? What would be your setup? What would be your plan of attack, Natalie?
See, I don't drink, so I don't really go out. Like, I'm so boring. I do like 13th Note for food in Glasgow though. I don't know, there's lots of nice places.
What about yourself, Cammy? Oh, sorry.
Oh, and then I'll just go where everybody else wants to go for a drink. So I sip on my water.
I get slated for it every time, but I love White Russians and nice and sleazy's to the class one. So I get food. Oh, Miller and Carter if I've got the money, but that's very rare.
Miller and Carter, once those royalties for Carwash Disco start rolling in, you'll be there all the time, mate.
Okay. 003 penny.
So what we'll do now, I'll just ask you some questions about your bandmates, so this could cause some controversy. So, who's the funniest?
We'll give it to Cammy. I mean, I'll give him.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who thinks they're the funniest but is actually not?
It's probably me. I laugh at all my own jokes and no one else laughs.
Yeah.
Give us one of your jokes as an example.
Kind
of put you on the spot there, don't I?
I know a joke. I don't know. I think it's more like I just say something like try to be quick-witted and I laugh, but no one else does.
just too sharp for everyone else. You're just operating in a different.
Yeah, I think it is.
Who's the most annoying? Let's try not to upset anyone here.
Cammy.
It's probably me.
Right.
How so?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think I am. I just know I annoy everyone.
He has verbal diarrhea.
Not like myself. Who's the tightest with money?
Danny, big Danny guitar. What is he?
Give us an example of his thriftiness.
I don't know. He just covers the rehearsal costs, and if we forget, he's on our back.
Forget to pay him all the time, and he's like, send me that money.
Who's got the worst taste in clothing?
Probably me. Maybe. I just don't really care what I wear, and I'll just throw in the first thing. Just rock up, hair a mess.
What was a typical outfit?
Oh,
It's usually a top I've been wearing for 2 days, a pair of jeans, shoes, and my hair a mess.
Nice. Who's got the best taste in music? Best taste in clothes, and not necessarily the best actually, but just who puts the most effort into it?
Cammy, 100%. He always tries to. Sometimes though, like I would say, there's definitely been outfit fails, but
yeah, but
he always tries.
Why, you know?
Who has the worst taste in music?
Danny.
Danny.
He's right into like heavy metal. I just can't get into it. I mean, fair enough, but not my bag.
Yeah, I used to like metal when I was like about 13, 14, but I don't know, something just you know that way when just like one day you're just like not into it. But I could never get into like really heavy like death metal or anything like that. But I liked like 80s like thrash metal and stuff like that. But even that, I can still like that a bit now. But it's just like some of it's stuff where it's just like just like somebody screaming and the drums just like so just
But if anyone's watching this that is into metal music, Danny's got a guitar cover page for metal stuff. Oh, what's it called? Nutty Riffs. So
he's what sort of
it's called Nutty Riffs.
Nutty Riffs.
Yeah, I hate metal. I hate it. It's too angry for me.
What sort of music do you like? Other we didn't get this out yet earlier, but what would you say a few of your favourite bands are? Now we've got talking about music again.
I still don't know. Like I feel like I usually just stick on a playlist, and ones that's got good vibes, I'm happy.
See, that's the thing, right? And this conversation could go off in a whole other direction, but we're free rolling here. I don't really mind that. I don't like to have it too scripted and ordered. But don't you think back in the day, right? I don't know what age you guys all are, but I'm that generation where I've kind of seen both sides. Like when I was a kid growing up, it was all about like I would finish my paper round, and I had a paper round when I was like 13, and I'd always every Friday or Saturday I'd get paid, and I'd go and there was a wee CD shop along the road, and I'd go and buy like a CD. I think I did a paper round like 6 days a week. I don't even think I made a tenner. I don't know why I did it. It was just like obviously as a kid you don't really think you're getting used to slave labor. It's just money's money. And but you'd listen to by buying an album, you'd listen to you'd discover all these tracks. Like there's so many albums that came out, or even the old albums. If I was buying one that had been out for years, some of my favourite songs even to this day are I would never know about them now, because all I would do would be I would hear a band and I'd be like, oh, I like that song and that song. I'd go and stick it on some playlist that I listen to when I'm in the gym or I'm out and about or I'm doing this or that. And I'm being honest, I would rarely listen to a full album these days. So you could go in as an artist and record an album, and unless you're putting everything out as a single, most folk are probably not going to hear it. It's just
Quite sad, but that's what they say now. It's like you only need 5 good songs for an album.
yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be me. I couldn't be putting out 5 songs that I love and then the 5 that are alright. But I mean, a lot of my favourite songs are like track number 7 on an album or whatever. Like, just But yeah.
Yes, and again, although I've said that, I try not to get too wound up about it because you get lots of people like, oh, death to streaming and all that, and it is frustrating the way it's changed things. But sometimes you can't really change the world and how it's going, so you've just kind of got to embrace it. And it is a powerful tool. I remember being in bands when I've not been in a band since I was a teenager, but when I was like a bit older than that, say 15, 16, you'd burn off a few CDs and try and you'd sell them at a gig or something. You'd probably burn off 20 copies, you wouldn't even sell them all, and that was it. Whereas nowadays you can be on Spotify and people all around the world have access to your music. Obviously, whether they listen to it or not, it's a different story. But so you kind of got to just take the that's just my view. I'm not saying you guys have to agree with it, but all the like the bands I manage, I always say that to them. I always say, look, you've got a powerful tool here. Like, let's not, I know you're getting crap money for the streams and things like that, but you can get yourselves out there. It's almost just it's just a marketing tool for your live performances, effectively.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. But
Yeah, I can agree with that. I was saying the other day that I was thinking about getting like a record player or something because I don't ever actually appreciate music when it's on. Like, I just think, oh, that's nice. It's nice background music, but I feel like I fell into that sort of a stick a playlist on. Don't really care who's playing as long as it sounds good.
yeah.
You know, so like I don't actually get into depth or like have, I don't know, like I feel like I've kind of it's hard to love the music when it's like it's just there and it's not an effort you've had to put into go getting a record or whatever and actually sitting and listening to the songs.
But then again, like if someone was to like say we had a record and someone was going out to buy that and get it, like like that person's going to pay more attention to it. But like streaming still class in a way because we got a video a couple of months ago of a wee boy in America or Canada, I don't know where, but a wee toddler dancing in his high chair with his lunch to one of our
I
tunes.
saw that clip.
I made my week, and you'd never get that if you didn't have Spotify. So you just have to take it as it comes.
Yeah, no, I would never give up like streaming or anything. Like it's so convenient as well. Like, and as you said, like worldwide, like there could be somebody listening to your music. But then I think as well, like for me being a musician, I don't have an appreciation for music, you know, like that I need to kind of get. Like I've kind of lost it.
Definitely, and I think with the way the world, like you can't change the way the world's going. But as I said, there'll be pros and cons with any new technology, even away from music. I always think, oh, how great is it that back in the day you used to get all these photos printed. Now it's just all on our phones. It's just like you can't and streaming. I know the money's rubbish, but it's like if you can pay $9.99 a month or whatever it is for Spotify, and I could listen to music all day, every day. What's the value of a stream to Spotify? So they can't just pay. The model would break if they started paying artists like a pound for a stream.
I mean, you just have to find a way around it, and then it's flipped, as they say. Like it used to be, like live shows would support music, but now it's the music you release is there to support live gigs. It's what it is. You can't do anything about it. You just have to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The world is what you make of it. That's my motto.
Yeah, we were talking about streaming in our lecture today at uni, and we were talking about how like Spotify doesn't make like a profit. So like if they had to pay artists more money, then they would probably like go out of business. Because if you think of like your Ed Sheerans and stuff like that, like if they had to pay them like even a penny more, it would be like more money than they were making.
Yeah, and the thing is as well with Spotify, the only way it's profitable is the volumes and the volumes in terms of customers, and the people, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever side you're on, that bring the majority of the customer base to Spotify are the big names. I don't want to drag this on for too long, but it's been great to have you and nice to finally meet you. Well, we're not even meeting really, but it's as close as you can get to meeting people these days. Hopefully we'll meet at a gig in the not too distant future. and really looking forward to that whenever it is. So just before we finish though, very important, my hand keeps disappearing whenever I move it because of the thing behind me. Tell everyone about the new single, where they can get it and when it's coming out.
It's going to be out on Friday, the 20th of November, on all your favourite streaming platforms. And yeah, go download it so maybe Natalie can afford a CD for more background music.
100%. So 20th of November, folks, check it out. Carwash Disco, St Clements. You can get them on Facebook or Instagram and follow them on Spotify as well. And stream the song as much as you can when it comes out. And you will hopefully be seeing one of these guys on a B12 entertainment show in the future, and also any other show, maybe Glastonbury or something. But yeah, look out for these guys if you don't follow them already.
Yeah.
Give them a follow. So it's Carwash Disco time, 20th of November. Check it out, people. Thanks very much, both of you. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.